Hi, welcome to Woodlands Garden. After the success and popularity of our last two cookery sessions on kale, we thought it would be a great idea to actually show you how you can grow kale in your own garden. So I'm here with Vicky. Hi Vicky.
Hello.
Vicky is the garden development worker at Woodlands and in charge of this wonderful garden. So thank you Vicky for accepting to come today and showing us how we're going to grow our own kale.
Pleasure. So yeah, I'm just going to start with it's quite a good time to sow seeds outside. If you are worried about slugs and things like that eating the little seedlings, then you can start seeds off inside in a seed tray, like this one I've got here. But if you're sowing outside, it's you can create a nice seed bed like this, and we're going to do two varieties of kale. We've got dwarf green curled kale, which is the common one, the one that you were using in your recipes.
Yes, and it's the most kind of like common one to get in the shops.
Yes, that's right. And then Cavallo Nero, which is, or Nero de Toscana, which is a black kale, which has got sort of very strong sort of peppery leaves, which are really really tasty, nice in a stir fry.
It sounds like Italian.
Yes. Yeah, they're all quite Italian. But they grow. It's a fantastic crop to grow in Scotland. It copes very well with all sorts of weather. Very cold weather, it's fine, and it overwinters well. And it fills the sort of the hungry gap which we get at the beginning of the year when there's very little growing. You've got kale and it's just coming into its own, and kale will be ready from February onwards. So that's really good. Or you can actually harvest it from October as a very young plant, as a cut and come again it's called, and you just cut off the young leaves and it'll grow back.
Wow, so wonderful.
So I've made 2 rows in the soil and I've spaced them about 15 centimetres apart, and we'll just sow the seeds. The seeds are very small, so they don't need to go too deep, and they need to go about ½ inch deep, and space them about 1 inch apart. So we'll just start popping them in, and it's good to sow in a straight line so that you know what is your seedlings that are coming up and what is a weed. If it stays fairly warm, then they'll probably start to come up. These were planted about 10 days ago, the black kale. So we should start to see these in a week to 10 days. And then these are some that have been growing for about a month, and they've been potted on. So they're getting a bit bigger, but they're still not ready to plant out. You need to wait till you've got about 6 true leaves. And the true leaves these are the sort of seed leaves, and they all look very similar with this family. So the true leaves are the ones that start to show the actual leaf of the plant. You just sort of push the seed, the sides of the little trench over like that.
Not firm, just quite gently.
You can firm it as well once we've done that, so we can do that in a bit. That's it. And this will allow the little worms to hide away as well. And just firm it a little bit, because that's good to get as much contact with the soil as possible for the seed.
But not too tight.
No, you certainly don't want to walk on it. And then we'll give them a bit of water. We're just using a watering can with a nice rainwater flower on the end of it, so that the seeds don't get completely flooded and washed away. So I'm going to pot on a kale now into a large pot. If you don't have a bed, you could, you've maybe got a little balcony or a front step if you live in a tenement. You could grow kale in a big pot. So I'm going to start off with some topsoil. So this is just...
This is a great way for people that perhaps don't have a garden. Or just want to do a pot in their garden. So there's no need to have a raised bed.
You don't have to have a raised bed. You don't have to have a big garden, really.
Wow.
You can grow. So I'm now putting in compost. This is sieved compost from our compost heap, but you can use compost from the garden centre as well. So mixing all this in, I'll just mix it up a little bit. So, and then yeah, this is the black kale, and it's got how many leaves? Can you count?
Yes, there are 6.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So we've got 6 true leaves, and you can't even see the little seed leaves anymore. So when you dig it up, try and keep all the roots. So dig it up with as much soil as possible.
Sure.
And then it's best to actually give it a good water before you plant it as well. But
Okay, so should we water now? Or?
No, we'll plant it. Just it's better to water it in.
See if
in
I'm
situ.
doing the right thing.
That's lovely.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's great. And then we'll just firm it down so it's nice and secure. And actually, when you plant it, you can plant it right up to the bottom of the leaves with kale. That gives it extra support. Okay. Kale and broccoli plants are very shallow rooted, so it's a really good idea to stake it against the wind. Stake it. We'll put this next to it, and then we can tie this. You can use this is just a broom handle actually that has been left in the garden.
I'll do that.
Give it plenty of water once you've planted it, and if you water around the base of the plant, that's brilliant.
Load of water here.
That's fine.
Is that enough?
That's brilliant.
Great.
So Irina, this is what the plant looks like at the end of the growing season in May, and it's, as you can see, it's produced lots of beautiful flowers that the bees love. And this is kind of the end of the plant's usefulness, but you can't actually eat the flowers. You can eat the buds, you can stir fry them, you can put them in a salad.
Wow.
Have a taste, see what you think.
Quite sweet.
So they're great for the bees. You can cook them at this stage as well. You can put them in a vase. It's a great plant.
Quite pretty to put in the salad. Wow, excellent. Thank you so much, Vicky. It's been really informative, and I know what I'm going to do once I get home. I'm going to plant some kale.
Fantastic.
Thank you for watching.